past is never past.
When Senu'a Saga Hellblade 2 arrived last year, it was, and indeed still is, one of the best looking games in existence. Ninja Theory's clear affinity for the cinematic carries over perfectly into in-game photography too, with the game having an outstanding photo mode, seemingly crafted by people who actually understand the needs and desires of screenshot artists. If you haven't already, be sure to check out my original review to see why I gave it a 5-star verdict.
You need to understand it.
By giving people more of the tools they need, the resulting work will have more freedom and creativity. Other studios should be looking at Senu'a Saga as an example of exactly what a photo mode should be.
Sounds like he knows what he's on about. It's maybe no surprise then that one of the headline features of the enhanced version of the game is a further improved set of capture tools. And not just simply because of the new very high graphics preset for top-end PCs, or the broader availability now that it's on PS5 as well. No, the photo mode has been reworked for this release with a number of new and improved features. And this time it's not just about still images, but moving pictures too.
This is why you have come.
This might seem like a minor thing to some of you, but it's actually a massive quality of life improvement, given that the photo mode previously had no way to reset the various settings. It was one of the few complaints from my original time with the game. Ninja Theory have addressed the issue in some style. Not merely content with a single reset button, pressing square brings up what can only be described as a reset menu. From here you can choose to reset individual parameters, wipe all settings on the current tab, or return everything to default by resetting all. There are even contextual options for single lights and characters, or to reset them all together as a group. It's literally gone from one extreme to the other, and definitely in a good way. Part of the game's stylized presentation is a fixed 2.39:1 cinematic aspect ratio, along with a fair amount of lens barrel distortion and chromatic aberration. While it was always possible to choose different aspect ratios in the photo mode, there was no option to remove those lens imperfections, despite the fact that they are often undesirable in a photographic sense.
You know better.
It's starting to sound like I was a bit generous with those 5 stars, come to think of it.
Stupid plan. Wrong already.
But that doesn't matter now. New options to disable chromatic aberration and to adjust the amount of lens distortion can be found on the filter and focus tabs respectively, giving a much cleaner final image. Rest assured then that those stars are fully justified after all. A great aspect of the photo mode in Senu'a Saga is of course the custom lighting. The full 3-point setup included controllable light position, colour, intensity and softness to give pretty much everything you needed to light a single shot. Unless of course, you just want more. Well, more is exactly what you get in the Enhanced Edition, where the comparatively meagre choice of 3 lights becomes an almost gratuitous 10. If you're thinking that might be overwhelming, remember that you don't have to use them all, but it's certainly better to have the option.
It is terrifying, but somehow beautiful.
They make it possible to control much more of the light on the characters and in the wider scene itself. For example, a couple of main key lights can be relied on to do much of the work, while a few extras in specific places can add highlights that help to define shape and outline. By disabling the Ignore Fog setting, lights can also be used to add volume to the atmosphere, even underwater. It's easy enough then to make something interesting from otherwise terrible conditions.
What can you see? Something different.
The equally new option to disable shadow casting is also useful when adding several light sources around the scene. And in the interest of being thorough, I also noticed that even the giant light bulbs that mark each light's position have got a new feature too. Small beams now radiate from the bulb and grow in size and number as the light intensity is increased. Is that necessary? Absolutely not, but it's a fun little addition nonetheless. Another of the photo mode's already advanced features is its range of camera focus modes. With full manual, autofocus or split plane focus to adjust the near and far limit separately, there are several ways to work with the focus and depth of field. Key to that is knowing precisely where the camera is focused most sharply, and the useful focus assist makes that much easier to detect. The way that this is displayed has been tweaked now to give it a thinner and more precise line that indicates the focus plane, as well as colour desaturation in the areas that will be defocused. A brand new hue picker also means that the focus plane indicator can be set to any colour that you choose, give maximum contrast and visibility regardless of the colours of the scene and subject. This one may not be the most exciting addition, but it's one that a lot of people will find useful, I'm sure. The single thirds grid has been upgraded to a total of 10 different alignment guides that can help you finesse a composition in different ways for more balanced and pleasing images. My personal advice with these is always to compose by eye and feeling first, and then to use these kind of guides to check and tweak elements within the frame, rather than relying on them as a starting template. Either way, they can be used as an interesting point of reference for compositional styles, and I particularly like to see that these are just in proportion to fit the different frame aspect ratios. On to the final and I suppose the biggest new addition to the photo mod then, an entirely new tab called Motion. As the name suggests, this one isn't exactly dedicated to still photography, and is instead all about creating short clips with a cinematic camera movement and a background audio track. There's 7 music tracks and 9 ambient sounds to choose from, with the ability to play one from each simultaneously at separate volumes.
Listen to us.
Movement of the camera meanwhile comes in the form of 14 preset actions that will automatically move, pan, tilt or zoom the camera as soon as you press triangle to hide the UI. Neatly, this snaps straight back to the starting position when you put the UI back up. There's no need to worry about it losing the composition entirely. Movement speed is controlled with coarse and fine adjustments in centimeters, degrees or percentage per second, depending on the action, and a lead-in time will offset the camera to add an extra range of motion before and towards the chosen starting point. Perhaps the main drawback here is that you cannot combine actions or define a more complex camera path, though it is possible to manually add extra movements using the controller sticks while the automated action plays out. Weirdly, the real-time effects like wind and rain that work perfectly with this new feature must be enabled elsewhere on the Effects tab, so be sure to head there too to get the most out of your clips. So, one of the best in-game photo mods just got even better with Senu'a Saga Hellblade II Enhanced, though I do have one last lingering request. Please, just let us adjust the settings while the UI is hidden. Then, those 5 stars will definitely be irrefutable. Thank you so much for watching, and please do remember to subscribe to the channel for more virtual photography content.